Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where now that we've landed in a new location, arrived at a new area, it is back to the side missions. Last time we did an entire chain of side missions, dedicated to... Oh, hold on, what is... Do they have a pet canid? They have a pet canid. Dedicated to, helping out this clothing designer come up with a new style. And then she died. Which I realize only after she died that I never bothered to actually see what inventory she had on her person.
About naming it?
Always seemed a bit crude, even for me. Besides, how am I supposed to introduce dates to Bold Betsy with a straight face?
I name all my favorite machines. What's wrong with naming your pistol?
Oh, I thought you meant... Never mind. Well, I've thought about it, just never came up with anything I could stick with.
Bold Betsy. That is, I suppose a name you can give one's not gun. Anyway, we have side missions to go through. Specifically, let us go and introduce,
And your plan is to sit idly...
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of her?
I feel as though we're being distracted from our side mission.
Access to Byzantium is impossible without a proper nav key. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to be somewhere else. Anywhere else.
That seems very important. Very proper credentials. All right, Hortense Inglesby.
How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking.
Gracefully, I might add.
Admittedly. Now if only you could gracefully take a shower, preferably in whatever hovel you came from. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness.
Let's see, what's wrong with more people coming to Byzantium? If the board isn't supposed to let people into the city, how do you get in here? Ooh.
I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see.
Wait, but what did you do to earn your place here?
I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him.
I earned them by inheriting my, Inheriting bits isn't the same as earning them.
Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that.
And if you
If you
happen
have
to be
wealth, you're
successful
and if you're successful,
due to
you must
inheritance,
earn it.
then that
Honestly,
counts, I
simple
guess.
Concept.
I see. Thanks.
You're welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee?
Let's see. I should go. And let
There's
us...
my parents'
Yep.
place. Smell that? Industrial-grade cleaning solvent and desperation.
Do they have to buy separate products in order to enable that? Or can they get the cleaning solvent and desperation in one? Alright, I should probably put my gun away while I'm exploring their house, which is... fancy? Almost kind of looks like... I wouldn't want to actually touch anything while walking around. But I also dressed in my fanciest outfit, so Ellie wanted me to dress all bloody and put the feet up on the sofa while visiting her parents, but...
Marilyn, is that you?
Marilyn?
Laws,
We certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
Ellie, short for Marilyn?
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble.
Spit on the floor. Fancy place. I'll probably be taking a few things with me. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
I don't know what to say. She's usually not like this.
Have you seen my previous dialogue?
Make an impression.
I am.
Anyway, you're probably
Have you seen my
wondering
previous
where I've been all
dialogue
this time.
choices?
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right?
Theft, vandalism, profanity, you name it, we've done it at least twice.
Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
Should I listen quietly? Don't treat her like that. She's come a long way to see you. Which is true. We'll leave when we're good and ready. This is getting awkward. Don't treat her like that. She's come a long way to see you.
I mean, we had other business in Byzantium, so it's not like we went out of our way. But you can't just kick us out. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors.
Truly the stuff of mercenaries. Hold up, these floors aren't just nice. They're top quality marble.
She's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
Huh. It's not for lack of people trying, believe me.
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
Why do I get the feeling you people are about to apologize for something?
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
Oh.
You what?
Talk about making lemons slap out of lemons. Which is false, because lemon slap is made out of 0 natural ingredients. But I'm sure you're much happier now knowing Ellie's alive and well, right?
Of course. And we shall always harbor that joyful secret deep within our hearts.
Because otherwise they'll have to give the money
And
back.
you'll report it to the insurance company, right?
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities.
Like
The nature
pure
of
marble
the
floor. So tell them Ellie's back. You'll be the talk of the town.
That's the other problem.
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we?
I'll have you know Ellie's a professional miscreant.
Shh. Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
Naturally,
It led to your
because
tragic death
that
when you
is-
tripped and broke your neck.
that would be expected.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Let's see. Let's go, Ellie. Are you done with these jerks? That's a pretty funny story. Listen quietly. Let's listen quietly this time.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind.
Without being seen by the neighbors. If you really knew your daughter, you'd know quiet is not in her vocabulary.
She hasn't changed a bit, I see.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
We need to live in our upper-class richness that is not deserved. Much like the other lady who said she had earned her way into society. Come on, Ellie, you deserve better than this. I don't know about you, Ellie, but I'm ready to cause a scene. Oof, this is... You deserve better than this.
Damn right, Captain. Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time.
I leveled up. You've successfully visited Ellie's jerk parents. Congratulations. Ooh, the illusion of interactivity. Can I loot their stuff? I can loot their stuff, and it's not stealing. I can't really take that much, because they only left so much on the counter. But, like, you look at this hall, and you're like, wow, such an amazing hall. And if there's nobody in it, there's no purpose to it. It's a purposeless, empty hall. Like, it looks like some place that you would say, okay, maybe if there was, like, a party going on, you could put some, like, food tables, some drink tables, but by itself, and I suppose for the majority of the time, because you can't be throwing parties left and right, and you don't want to stain that marble, for the most part, that would be stealing. And would this be stealing? No, it is not. High society cigarettes. Like, for the most part, a lot of this space is just the view and the maintenance of the view. But let's get out of here. We're going to talk to Ellie once we leave the space. No reason to stick around there and have the conversation. And I suppose you could say this would be even closer to just a criticism of the elite at that point, too. The people who have inherited their wealth. The idea that the appearance of money is more important than how that money is acquired. The hard work isn't impressive as the golden chalices and the ornate columns. Because, like, it has something to show for. Like, you might have that life of hard work that led to said amount of money, or you could have no work that led to said that amount, but you can't really show that money without. Like, the presentation shows the wealth. Not necessarily what is done to acquire it. Let's say, Ellie, what do you have to say?
Can you believe those two?
They were
We've
jerks.
hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage.
They shouldn't have gotten so upset. How did you think that would go? We were making quite a scene. They shouldn't have gotten so upset.
I wanted them to get upset. I just thought it would play out differently.
She wanted them
They'd
upset
both
for
be
different
sitting
reasons.
there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed.
This is a very specific... And then what? And I think that's also kind of leads to Ellie's character. She was this rich socialite who did not enjoy her society, so she broke away and she went to the far reaches of space to see what a dirty side of society would be like, as opposed to this faux clean society. And more of that is just to, and coming back is just to shock her parents, to be like, see how terrible I have become, how monstrous. And then what?
I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either the leather's fake but the scars are real, or oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug?
I do appreciate that second line. How about it's payback time and I'm collecting with... And I just stole a line from her earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that one day.
Didn't she,
Now, getting
Didn't
back
she
to
say
my
that in, like,
story.
one of her conversations on the ship?
Father would throw his hands up because this would be just like me to come back and make a big scene. Then Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob.
You're really hurt, aren't you?
I'm not hurt. I'm outraged. Affronted, even. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know? And I've got a reputation to maintain.
Work through it on your own time. Trust me, this is for the best. I'm sorry it's a rough situation. That sounds familiar.
I hope you don't think I'm talking about this because I want to be introspective.
This episode reflects on them, not you. Yeah, I would argue that.
But I want to talk about me now.
Okay. You can learn something. It's up to you to determine what it is. Everyone's only out for themselves. You got to surround yourself with people who will really look out for you. Bad things happen. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, you got to surround yourself with people who will really look out for you. Like, if her parents are so spineless that the only thing they care about is their social reputation, to the point in which they'll make up this goofy story about how their daughter died. Clearly, they don't really look out for her. Now, I wouldn't say everyone's out for themselves, because I don't want to encourage bad behavior. And I don't want her to just figure out whatever.
Unless you mean the kind who look out for you to blink so they could swipe your bits. The galaxy's not exactly crawling with those.
It is not.
Anyway, I don't want to sift through this lousy experience for meaningful life lessons. I'm mad, and I want to do something about it. Something like... Wait a second. What if I could get that money?
It's not really your money any more than it's theirs, because you're still alive.
Let's look at this as an advance on my dying eventually. Besides, if anyone deserves to profit off my death, it's me. I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing, and I'll get to cut them off.
So how do we do this?
My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves.
Sure, I suppose we'll do whatever that is. Although I appreciate her referring to people skills as though it's some sort of foreign affair.
You seemed thoughtful since Monarch.
I've been wondering if we did the right thing, is all. Bringing those folks back into the board's arms.
It's not easy. I gotta tell you, most of these things aren't.
I just wish there was a way to please everybody. What the board did to those people, leaving them there, it wasn't right. And then us showing up, trying to fix it all for them. What if we made it worse?
These things work themselves out slowly. So look on the bright side. We won't live long enough to find out.
I'm sure that's the board's position on all of that. Is this the board's main building? And can I actually go here?
The Acropolis district is off limits. Move along.
Mind if I take a breather? I'm pretty tired after hauling around these bits.
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the law's name are you on about?
I'm just gonna...
Honest mistake. Why don't you come back another time and we can take this from the top?
Farewell.
Something on your mind?
I could talk to her about getting into there? What can you tell me about Byzantium?
It's like one of those stuffy art gallery pieces. Looks okay from far off, but once you get close, you realize it's just some mismatched shit everyone's agreed to overpay for. Even the bribes are overpriced. That's what I've been saying.
Alright, well I don't have anything to do in that direction now anyway. Alright, let's see if I could use my people skills to do stuff. The sole letter in this mailbox is addressed to the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group's satellite office in Fallbrook on the planet Monarch.
I guess we're going to Fallbrook.
Huh. Alright, I guess we're going to Fallbrook. But let's take a moment to do other stuff while we're here. Let's find Ava Chartrand's home on Byzantium, because we're apparently supposed to kill her. Though I suppose now is the time that we would be able to actually... Oh, is this a SAM unit actually doing some cleaning? Now's the time to discover exactly what was the purpose for all of her various experiments. Also aliens, because apparently Leela thinks aliens were involved with the experiments that were done on merging, what was it, raptid DNA with human DNA, and for some reason the only test subjects they had available were the other scientists themselves, all of which are now frozen permanently. Which doesn't really... it's not a very viable research platform. Should I be sneaking?
This reminds me of... Oh, never mind.
Of your parents' house that looks exactly like this, complete with doors that go nowhere. Conference rooms that seat nobody. I apparently have to go downstairs, but I'm clearly missing where the button is for the elevator. Because apparently this is sealed. That door doesn't really exist. As does that. That's the entrance. Oh, here we go. I received a message that an unauthorized user was looking through the files in my Cascadia terminal. Maybe some marauder with 2 firing brain cells. Maybe not. I hope whoever it is understands that the sacrifices made on Monarch and HRS 1084 serve a higher purpose. One day, when all of us have attained a new state of being, humanity may forgive my sins. My worst suspicions are confirmed. HRS 1084 was ransacked. Who knows what became of the suspension tanks? My team! As usual, my handlers on the board are no help, until I deliver results that can replicate, package, and disperse to the general population. They desire only silence and obedience from the likes of me. Circumstances were hardly optimal at the primary and secondary labs. Political instability pulled Cascadia out from under me, and some combination of cabin fever and paranoia soured HRS 1084. Perhaps my home in steadfast Byzantium will offer the retreat I need. Though I miss working alongside colleagues, I know that I hardly deserved the ones I so enjoyed, the ones I lost. The work continues in isolation and loneliness, perhaps as it should. Ever since our species became aware of itself, we imposed our superiority in the worlds we touched. Colonialism worked, for a time, but our oldest trick didn't work in Halcyon, did it? Now we are the ones who must bow to a force greater than ourselves. We are the ones who must adapt. Update. Wine makes me too introspective. Perhaps I'll balance it out with vodka. I have a feeling that she's just going to be in her lab dead already. That is, my guess. Though, once again, she seems to be hinting at the presence of these extraterrestrials. She hasn't necessarily confirmed aliens.
That's top-of-the-line equipment. Better than most hospitals, even.
Oh, nope, she's right there. And there's a guard and auto mechanical.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside?
Leela Hagen sent me to kill you.
If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do it with the same professional courtesy.
Hagen? I've never heard of her. Is she from the board? Damn it. I knew this would happen.
Leela runs Sublight Salvage and Groundbreaker. Good boss. Bit of a live wire.
That's a gentle, womanly way of putting it, Captain. She's obsessed with aliens. This is utter nonsense. I've never even been to Groundbreaker.
You've been to Cascadia and Station 1084. I know all your dirty secrets.
What happened to the team? Tell me you didn't move their suspension tanks.
Sublight took over the lab. Your human aquariums are probably just office decor.
Small consolation. My team, the finest minds of their generation, reduced to salvage.
What were they trying to prove by experimenting on themselves?
We were trying to prove that the colony could survive the crisis bearing down on us.
What crisis?
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving.
Huh. So this, you know, a little bit of this was introduced earlier on in the story. With, it's actually one of the first quests you get is in regards to the Emerald Vale, the tuna factory. People are dying in Emerald Vale because of this plague. And what you realize is it's because the food they're eating is bad. The soil is not good for growing vegetables. And one of the people there starts using human corpses as fertilizer in order to grow vegetables. Well, this is startling, but it doesn't explain the research I found.
The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So
they wanted to modify humans in order to eat different food?
I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have.
All you have to show for it is a lab full of preserved colleagues.
I know. I was there. Thomas was the first to take the gas. A simple test, he said. I told him not to, but he insisted. We learned a lot from his autopsy. Enough that we could try it on each other and know when to stop. No one else died. I must find a cure so his sacrifice isn't in vain.
I'm surprised you don't have more support from the board, considering your goal is the sustenance of the colony. And if you fail everybody dies.
There are other teams. We didn't want to experiment on human test subjects, so we used the only resources we had. Each other. I'm desperate.
So the
I've
other
already
teams
asked
may
all the
have
best institutes
actually
on Earth for
tested
help.
on people.
Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back.
Thusly, that was the warship that went to, the assault cruisers patrolling Halcyon. Isn't Cornelius Vanderbilt one of the assault cruisers patrolling Halcyon?
It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace.
Huh. Colonists might get unruly if they realize there was only one boot on their neck. Leela sent me after a conspiracy, but it looks like I found a cover-up instead.
I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible consequences for breaking secrecy.
The board wants to adapt the entire population of Halcyon?
Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off Halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
I
We
say
haven't made
no.
enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying.
Well, you don't have to keep trying this plan. Like, just because you've come up with one plan doesn't necessarily mean that that is going to be the plan that succeeds. Enough talk. Where do we go from here?
You came to kill me. I assume that's still on the table. Please don't. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
Let's see. You know Phineas Wells. If you worked with him, I'll spare you. Keep working with the board on a plan to save Halcyon. What do you think, Ellie? Parvati, how do you think? Ellie, what do you think? I'm gonna probably pick, Phineas Wells.
I try not to, least when it comes to the moral dilemmas. Lilia Hagen's a useful ally to have, but I'll back you up either way.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that.
I would say the issue that, like, she says she's doing for the good of the colony. The issue is less that she's a monster, as much as the solution that was created found herself and her team becoming monsters themselves in order to solve an impossible solution. An impossible problem. Parvati, how do you think we should handle this?
It seems like she's trying to help, Captain. Honest help. Ain't many in the colony doing that. We should let her try.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands.
You know Phineas Wells. If you work with him, I'll spare you.
The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander?
That didn't... so there really is no, alien conspiracy?
Alien conspiracy? No. What, did you hit your head on your way in or something? I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive.
Because the fate of... Is my persuade really that high? Because the fate of the colony is in my hands.
You sure have an inflated sense of self-importance, but that doesn't make you wrong. Now move along. The dog has a lot of work ahead of her, tidying up and such.
Alright. So it wasn't aliens. Who would have expected it to be aliens? But I suppose now I've got to go tell Leela it wasn't aliens. She's going to be very disappointed that aliens had nothing to do with it.
What about Virginia?
What about Virginia?
Done? You just come up with that out of the blue?
I might have been thinking about it for a while. It's okay if you don't like it.
Actually, it's perfect. Virginia it is.
If I change out her gun, does this mean that she has to give her gun a new name because it is a different gun? Or are all of her guns automatically Virginia? Either way, let's go to the maintenance tunnels and deal with this guy's escaped sprats. Alright. Oh, at the very least, all of the sprats are given quest markers. Why, hello! There's one. And supposedly there's a bunch of auto mechanicals guarding these maintenance tunnels. But so far I have not seen any. Oh, you... no. I will catch you. Maybe. There we go. Friggin' sprat. I'll catch you.
So, you and Junlei holding hands yet?
When we can. We don't get to see each other much, on account of how rare it is we dock at Groundbreaker.
You seem real happy. I'm glad for you.
That's awful sweet, Ellie. Thank you.
That seemed to be a little bit of a struggle for her to say. But she managed, which is the important part. Ah, an automechanical. There we go.
Make him regret it!
Alright. Bring out the heavy guns. There we go. Because these guys are a little bit tougher. Oh, hello. There we go. I hope he doesn't mind the fact that I'm exterminating all the Sprat exterminators, or if there's actual consequences for me doing that. And it does not seem that everybody's alright. That is a-okay, because I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to heal. Alright, let's swap out to... Let's try out this gun.
They got the drop on us.
Not bad, I suppose. Oh, hello. Alright, there goes that one. And that one.
Okay, Captain.
Alright, where is this Sprat? Did postal employees just die in the maintenance tunnels? An ionized paper knife. It's a well-balanced energy blade. All right. All right, and it looks like we just have one more sprat to rescue from these tunnels. Oh, hold on. A feral sprat that had grown too powerful. Unexpected?
Aw, I was hoping we could bring him home. You'd let me have a giant sprat, right, Captain? So long as I fed it?
So long as it didn't feed on us. Alright, that was pretty fast. I guess let's go return these sprats. Alright. Giles Molina, here are your sprats. And I think they're all alive. I have them all.
Truly? Why, this is marvelous! And all safe and sound. Oh, Reginald, Philippa, Vonda, Haroon, Iskander, Evelyn! I'm never letting you out of my sight again! Please, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I can offer for the safe return of my darlings.
I appreciate the
Now,
fact that all of the sprats have their
Got to get
own
back to the
individual
lab before
names.
My supervisor logs my absence.
And they're all very unique names.
I believe your choice to spare Chartrand would be considered the honorable path, yes? Sublight's money is inconsequential in the face of ethics.
Thanks. I'm glad this AI approves. Maybe. Alright, I suppose I might as well let Leela down. Let her understand that 1, there are no aliens, and 2, that I did not kill Ava.
Is it done?
I spoke to Chartrand. I'm not going to kill her.
Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. As your employer, I'm both angry and disappointed. I'll add that to your file. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Care to justify your betrayal of our species, or are we finished here?
Yeah, you misunderstand Chartland's research. She's our best shot at survival in Halcyon. I'm not killing someone to feed your paranoia. Do I at least get a letter of referral? You misunderstand Chartland's research.
You're awfully quick to trust someone who offed her colleagues and called it a good start. Out of my office. We're done.
This is why I always ask for half my payment up front.
You think maybe she's got an itchy trigger finger? I don't want to find out.
Alright. Can I steal your stuff? If the authorities are on our heels, our legal team has pre-approved you to recite this passage from our colonial trading rights. Pursuant to regulations following internally preserved Borst, such a business entity would therefore be entitled to gather, maintain, and ultimately dispose of decommissioned agriculture hardware and accessories for profit or convenience. The short version, if we handled potted meat, we can legally salvage tractors and tractored parts. That's why I keep a can of Borst in Sublight-owned safe deposit boxes off-world, and why the goods you bring in are cataloged as farm equipment. Everything we do is perfectly legal. Now go bring home some bacon. That is, an interesting stretch of logic. But fitting for the world of the Outer Worlds. The universe of the Outer Worlds. Either way, looks like we're done with Sublight. Got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.
Rizzo's knock you out, Bob.